this video has everything: bites, battles, and a bit of mystery.
What's up, fishing friends? Waking up this morning, I saw beautiful weather outside my window. It gave me hope for an exciting day on the water. Without hesitation, I loaded up my gear into the car and headed out to go fishing.
Today, like many times before, I decided to go trolling on Lake Erie.
Picked up some new plastic worms and I'm putting them to the test today. Let's see if the fish like them. To run this test, I've set up 2 trolling rods, a plastic worm on the left side and a live worm on the right. Let's see which one the fish prefer. Also, today I'm filming with 2 cameras for the first time, so go easy on me. I'm still learning. As it turned out later, the lens on my head camera fogged up. But I'm still including the footage because the second angle gives a different perspective. You'll see me adjusting the line from time to time, either letting out more or reeling it in. That's because I'm tracking depth on my Garmin and trying to keep the lure just above the bottom to avoid getting snagged. It's a calm day on the water. Only an occasional fishing boat creates some waves. I often fish in the afternoon too, because even in the heat, fish down deep still tend to bite pretty well. It's a calm day on the water. Only an occasional fishing boat creates some waves. I often fish in the afternoon too, because even in the heat, fish down deep still tend to bite pretty well. Here comes the first bite. As expected, it was on the live worm, although I sprayed the plastic one with some bait attractant and had high hopes that I wouldn't have to keep buying live worms anymore. Right away, you can tell it's a decent-sized walleye, since walleye aren't the strongest fighters. For comparison, freshwater drum and steelhead fight much harder. In summer, when there's a strong fight, you immediately know it's a freshwater drum. Since steelhead only start biting in September, they prefer cooler water. As for catfish, even the big ones don't fight hard. They feel more like a heavy rock pressing down to the bottom. And that's something we'll talk more about today. And here it is, a nice walleye. Today, this one's going straight to the grill. Although the law allows you to keep up to 6, 1 is more than enough for me. As you probably know, walleye is considered one of the tastiest local fish. It's also one of the healthiest and leanest fish in the world. So make sure to check out my shorts. I've got a simple, delicious walleye recipe you won't want to miss.
Up.
It's really thrashing around in the net, so I'm using fish grippers to safely unhook it. When targeting walleye, I typically fish at depths between 20 and 30 feet. Spotting schools of bait fish is always a good sign, because where there's food, the predators are never far behind.
Stop.
I like to keep the fish alive on a stringer while I'm still fishing. That way, if I happen to catch a bigger one, I can release the smaller one back into the water. Now let's take a look from a different angle. As I mentioned earlier, the lens unfortunately fogged up, but you can still see everything clearly enough.
You've probably noticed there aren't many boats on the water today. I was actually quite surprised. It's not something you see often.
Actually, before this walleye, I did get a few bites on both the live and plastic worms, but they were very light. The live one even got eaten a couple of times. I decided to cut those parts out to keep the video from dragging on.
I've gone on a few more trips recently, and no surprise, the bite gets hot the moment I turn the camera off. It's like some kind of fishing curse.
It's a very good keeper. Great fish. Great fish.
One of those trips was to Lake Michigan, where I paddled about 3 miles offshore and spent nearly 5 hours searching for salmon. But either it just wasn't my day, or the salmon had other plans. My Garmin showed maybe 5 fish the whole time, and they were all shallow, which means they definitely weren't salmon. This time of year, salmon usually stay at depths over 80 feet.
I gave crankbaits a try for a while today, but unfortunately, no luck. Not a single bite.
Stop. That's a keeper.
I keep the fish on this stringer all the way back to shore. Behind me, there's a cooler with ice, water, and my worms. And of course, that's also where the fish go for the ride home. This time around, something small was biting, and once again, it was attracted to the live worm. The small fish was actually a white bass, and naturally, I let it go. We'll take a look at this moment again, but from another perspective. With the score at 2-0, I was starting to believe the plastic worm was definitely losing the battle. However, the plastic worm wasn't completely out of the game. It got a few bites as well.
This time, a small walleye took the bait, roughly twice as big as the white bass I caught earlier on the live worm.
In my opinion, it was about 15 to 16 inches long, so it could have been kept. But as I said before, one fish is enough for me, so I didn't even bother measuring it. I encourage you all the same. Don't keep more fish than you need. That way, the fishery will continue to give us great bites for years to come.
Something. Small guy. Stop.
Here comes the exciting part. At first, I had no idea what it was. My initial guess was that I'd hooked the bottom. But wait, I had only let out about 20 feet of line. And in that spot, the depth was at least 30 feet. So how could it be the bottom? My first thought was to stay on course and quickly bring in the second rod, so I wouldn't risk wrapping the line around the propeller when I turned the kayak. After I gave a few hard pulls, it suddenly felt like I was dragging something. Not really fighting back, but with a heavy pressure pulling downward. Based on my past experience, I immediately thought this has to be a big catfish. It wasn't making fast runs or strong jerks, just that slow, steady weight pressing toward the bottom. Of course, I can't say with confidence what it actually was.
since it got off the hook before I could see
But
it.
there was something big.
A small goby definitely couldn't have put up that kind of resistance. But a predator that had its eye on the goby? That's a different story.
Maybe catfish or I don't know, but
We've all heard fishermen's tales about the big one that got away, so I guess this is mine.
no, man.
After that, both of my cameras ran out of battery. I did manage to catch a few more freshwater drums, but at the very end, while I was unhooking and releasing one drum, my second rod suddenly bent again. The fish took the bait and ran to the other side of the kayak, wrapping the line around the propeller on its way. So I had to paddle back to shore for over an hour using just the oars. And to top it all off, the fish stole my crankbait. Yep, another $10 gone.
Thanks for your time, everyone. I promise the upcoming videos will be even better. See you out on the water.